Oh, hello. It is I, the world's greatest detective, Sherlock Rocket Holmes, and I am here to destroy the biggest mystery in all of Pokemon Duel. Who is Fullmelt? And of course, only someone as smart and brilliant as myself could give you the answer. Stay tuned to find out. After close inspection, there can only be 4 possible candidates for Fullmelt, and I'm going to reveal who they are right now. The first one is, of course, the well-known Tarvold. Very many people suspect him. Next up is D. Vixen. Interesting choice there. Next up is D. Rye. And finally, we have Iceman. One of those 4 is Fullmelt, and we will find out the answer right now, starting with Tarvold. Okay, now let's get into the actual facts and looking at who Fullmelt actually is. I mean, it's really obvious, it's elementary, but for you, Pokemon Duel community, I know you're a little bit slower, so I'll try to speak slowly so that you can understand. But the first suspect is, of course, the very well-known Tarvold. Now, many have suggested that Tarvold is Fullmelt, including here in a piece of evidence we have Rye here. The image has been blurred, I can't show that anymore, but it does say Tarvold and Fullmelt seem to play at the same times. So we have that there from Rye. We have another person here, Zach, suggesting that Fullmelt is also Tarvold. We also have here another piece of evidence. Let's have a look. This one is from Tarvold himself. Can we zoom in? Can we see? Fullmelt, my new hero. Fullmelt himself is suggesting... Sorry, Tarvold himself is suggesting Fullmelt is his hero. Is that evidence? Well, I would like now to go on to our next candidate here. And our next candidate, it's Rye. Rye is obviously very much linked to the investigation on Tarvold, suggesting very, very often that Tarvold is Fullmelt. But could this all just be a ploy to get the attention off himself? Maybe. We have here, you know, Rye having another go. He thinks I'm Fullmelt. I think that was Devani making a video about Rye being Fullmelt. Rye is very, very active on this, suggesting many, many times that, you know, it could be Tarvold. However, we have been doing some research here, okay? I have been hearing from Rocket Rob and many others in the community who have shown that the time zones when Fullmelt are active are generally American time zones, USA. So, with that in mind, Showtime here has said, it is confirmed Fullmelt isn't Tarvold. Fullmelt was in my stream last night, but Tarvold wasn't. Interesting, because when Tarvold is in a stream, he is very active in the chat. So, just saying, you know, it does look like the time zones, and this is coming from a lot of different people, including a very smart, intelligent man that I know very well, Rocket Rob, who does say that Tarvold is likely in America. Okay? Very, very likely. We're going to have a look now at our third candidate. And this comes from a very, very popular theory stating that Fullmelt is a woman. Now, I have heard from Giggity Gaming, who apparently has a source who knows who Fullmelt is. And he has told Rocket, that Fullmelt is a woman. Now, with that in mind, we do have one very, very high level, a very, very high level suspect Miss D. Vixen, who herself has stated that she is Fullmelt. We have here, where is it? Vixie. Maybe that's me. This image comes from Rocket Rob. That's why it says Vixie Loveheart. So there's evidence 1 that shows that Vixen is Fullmelt. What do we have next? We have here a statement. Vixie, lol, I'm Fullmelt. Interesting, Vixie. And what is this last one that we have here? Fullmelt has been loving her double mega latios. It's another suggestion that Fullmelt is a female. So with that in mind, could it be Vixen? Vixen is not in America, which does make this quite difficult. And Rocket has told me that although she has stated that she, is Fullmelt, the timings just don't work. So it is hard to believe that Vixen could be Fullmelt, but Fullmelt could be a woman. With that in mind, we move to our final candidate for Fullmelt, and that is Iceman. Now let's have a look here. I have been speaking with the only intelligent person other than Rocket Rob in the entire Pokemon Duel community, and that would be Tricky Trickster, who has come up with a list of evidence to suggest Iceman is Fullmelt. On close inspection of this, and with keeping everything else that we have learned in mind, it is damning evidence. Almost every time Fullmelt shows up to play, Iceman disappears in the chat. I can verify that from multiple sources. Iceman has not denied he is Fullmelt. Iceman's often, when he's absent, when he's away, Fullmelt is also away. That does check out. Iceman never plays, and that is the interesting one. For those who don't know, Fullmelt has more matches than anyone in Pokemon Duel. Anyone. So for someone to be an active player and be Fullmelt seems completely illogical. Iceman always chats, but Fullmelt never chats. Iceman equals Fullmelt, Ice can melt. Okay, Tricky, some of these are not your best bits of evidence. Fullmelt played Iceman's iconic Pokemon. Iceman made a joke by changing his YouTube name into Fullmelt, or is it a joke? Well, Tricky, I do agree. This is pretty damning evidence, except for some of those points that just don't matter at all. But thinking of it, okay, we have the fact he is American. We know that for a fact. He donates American dollars to Showtime on a regular basis. The timings work. The ability to play works because he isn't one of those players with millions of matches under his belt. Like, he's always disappearing in the chat when Fullmelt is playing matches. Look, it's really hard to refute this evidence. The one mystery that remains, I mean, look, we're going to have to say Iceman is Fullmelt. However, we have damning evidence that Fullmelt is a woman. Is Iceman really a woman or a man? I think that is the next case that we need to solve. If anyone has any evidence to share on my investigation, I will happily take up the challenge. But for now, I have proven, without a doubt, I am the greatest detective in the world, Sherlock Rocket Holmes. And I have saved you guys from the greatest mystery in all of Pokemon Duel, and that will be me signing off. But don't forget to like Rocket's video and subscribe to the channel to see more exciting episodes just like this one. What mystery will be uncovered next? Find out soon.